Welcome back, everyone, to the second game here over at the UK University Valorant server. We're running these 10-man still, and we have switched over production, so it should be running a little bit smoother. Once again, I am your caster, KNT Elixir, and I am joined by my good man, Scored.
Hello there. How's everyone doing?
It's been a bumpy start to the night, but hopefully the second game, keeping the players and teams the same, should run much smoother.
Yeah, hopefully, by the looks of it, we're going to be playing Haven.
Oh, they're changing.
Oh no, we're going to be playing Split. Okay. We're going to have the nice scribbling all over the middle of the map with a lot of tunnels, a lot of nice little ropes to go up and down. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we're going to be waiting for them to lock in their agents. As Andrew said, with the same teams.
Notice I didn't see any swaps because I think all the teams were preset, weren't they?
Yeah, all the teams they got put in a lobby, and then a moderator or admin set up all the teams and then sent everyone into their channels.
Okay. It's definitely cool that we're getting to see some like organized gameplay, even if it's not at like the craziest highest level. It's cool to see what different members from different unis are able to put out with a relatively fresh game at the moment.
Very true. Okay, we are gonna see the Spunky Monkey on the Sova again. We've got Spooky on the Cypher, Chelarum again on the stage. Got Brotto giving us a look at his face on the Raze with the Viper, and this time we are going to see the Jet, so we're going to see some nice fast-paced fragging action. And then on the attacking team, we're going to see the Phoenix, Sage, Sova, Omen, and another Raze. This map very strong for Raze because of the amount of spam it's down into shows. Okay, so you see the attackers. They're going to be pushing up onto mid. It looks like they're going to want to for a B push here. 4 grenades from Raze coming out.
First coming in now. And immediately answers back to the defenders.
Yeah, the defenders team now taking the numbers advantage. Attackers 2 versus 3. Looks like they're going to decide to rotate, but they do get caught out by the Cypher. Traded out though by Jamid Dodger.
But with these numbers so low, that trade out definitely does work in the defenders' advantage, as they are starting to pincer it in between. And the first round.
You do see the round going the way of the defending team. We're going to refer them to Team 1, I guess.
Team 1, Team 2. Blue team, red team. Well, I guess you can't use blue team, red team because they swap.
No, yeah.
Alright, Team 1, Team 2.
You're going to be seeing it looks like 2 holding B, 1 mid with a lurker, and then we've got the Cypher holding A down for the defender. Cypher very good because he can block off locations with his hits. We just see the attackers looking like they want to rush A.
Yeah, because they saw they were playing much faster last time. They did get shut down by the defenders a lot early in the first map, so I think they're changing up their strategy, trying to play a more approaching.
The attackers rush in. Spooky with the 4K, using that Spectre, gunning them down through the Omen smoke.
And things did look good for a hot second after those first 2 shotgun blasts missed and the whole team started to peel in through the smoke. It did look like maybe they were going to get an entry kill and walk out, but Spooky absolutely having none of it.
And now we're left to the Sova on the attacking team, trying to get intel with his recon ult, but does get fragged out, and that is round 2 going the way of the defenders.
And definitely looking strong so far, but we did see a similar thing in the previous map where the defenders played pretty solidly, and then during some of the forced downtime where we were looking away, we came back into an even 7-7 scoreline. So all to play for.
So yeah, it seems that the current attackers definitely don't really come online until they've got that economy. They can buy all of their abilities, they can buy all of their preferred weapons, and then they can actually frag out and play to the best of their ability.
Speaking of abilities, because Spooky has been having such a dominant showing so far, he is only one orb away from his ultimate ability.
It's going to be very good seeing as he seems to be playing, usually playing solo on the site, meaning that if he gets that frag, he can get the information for his team.
Right,
He has been located,
reveal.
but he gets a double spray down, traded out again by Jam and Dodger.
Would be more than happy to take that one with him to the grave.
Jam and Dodger with the res though, and then Atriox picking up the Omen instantly. Now going for a play from behind, trying to pincer the attackers. Jam and Dodger picking up Atriox.
And adds answering back. So 3v2 now, but is weak. But this is now probably in the offensive. And there we go. Just a very, very low health defender left.
Raise no abilities. 31 HP. Going to try and take this 2v1. Gets flashed out by the Phoenix. And now isn't going to have enough time. Gets picked up by Gem and Dodger. And that's the first round to the attackers.
There's nothing really that Doc Roto was going to be able to do there. With such low health and no resources, it was definitely an uphill climb.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
And with the numbers disadvantage, it doesn't matter if you're really the defender when it comes to these sort of late map situations.
It looks like the attackers this time, they're going to go for what they went for on the first round. Go and try and take that mid control, starting at mid-bottom. They're going to be facing a Jet who can obviously smoke them off and quickly get out if they do get pressured out too hard. The Sova Dot coming in to try and scout out Jet. However, she does fall back.
Alright. Very nice entry kill there from Wretch. It looks like they're going to have control of the orb.
Spooky going to get killed by Spunky Monkey.
And we see Ads trading out again. That's definitely someone that does not value their life when they go for those picks.
No, no. To Wretch going to be able to take out the Shadow Realm, given the attackers fight. They're going to be able to get a plant down. Doc Rocco getting taken out by Spunky, playing for Heaven Control. And that's round 2 going the way of the attackers.
So once again, looking at an even scoreline here. Definitely much earlier than we saw them evening it out this time.
Yeah, and it looks like the attackers are going for a split push this round. Maybe trying to use the Sova to bait out rotates back to A. Have to see how this plays out for the attackers. Now with 3, it looks like they are going to try and bait A and get a quick plant down on B. With only the Sage holding B for the defenders, this is an extremely possible strategy.
Yeah, Ice has been thrown out there, so just going to chill.
We have the Jet ult come through, instantly punished by Retcher though. No value from that ultimate. That's going to open up for the attackers. Spunky, as we know, he said he loved his info. He's going to be using that drone to try and find where the other team is so he can relay that information to his team.
He's not in any position to get punished yet, so he's free to drone for as long as he wants.
Yeah, now we see the attackers, they're taking that mid control, they're pushing up, and now they have a lot more options as to what they want to do. It does look like they're going to try and go for the B push. Phoenix ult coming out. Going to try and play forward, get the frags. Now with the Razor ult coming in. The Bakugan does kill AIDS. Brawled out of the map.
And we've seen the long rotate though from Spooky. He's taken a while to get this done, so he's going to have to find some insane value as he is now 1 versus 4. The defender, who is definitely going to be making a more offensive play now. The site is very much, has been Captain Phillips away.
And unfortunately, he is taken out by Jack of all trades. And that's going to be 5th round going the way of the attackers.
And when you take that long to make your flanking play, you definitely might want to consider using Google Maps to take a quicker route through your rotation.
Yeah, of
before your
course.
entire team drops.
But as well, if he wanted to be faster, he would have risked being scouted out and heard and would have died even sooner. Not that it really mattered in the 4v1. Not really expected.
I guess what one thing also to notice is 2 ults were used in that setup, which meant that just the economy has now changed. Even though Spooky didn't get anything done because ultimates have started being traded out, as we can see, ads is actually ready to come online pretty much in this round.
Yeah,
Might cause later rounds to be more impactful.
a lot of resources being dedicated to this mid, because if a team can control that mid, it means that they have so many options as to where they want to rotate. They can easily swap points that they want to attack. But we do see the defenders now trying to pincer in the attackers, trying to get behind and get those pickoffs.
Shadowrun was revealed, but is able to pick up a kill. Red
with
2.
Picking up both flankers on the back, that opens up a lot of map space for the attackers. They are going to opt to try and rotate over to A whilst Jet is distracted. Jet now.
You can see that there's a very, very low health here. Spike is being planted. Now things are going to kick off because we see 2 full health offensive versus 2 and a bit. 1 pick really could just change things. Never mind, I take it back, 3 and a bit.
Retcher with a nice hold on that angle. He's now going to be pushing up. He hears the footsteps in heaven. Animus takes down 1. Adds trades out, sorry.
It looks like Aminus got stuck on something there because the movement looked very, very awkward as he got the pick, and then it looked like he turned to run to get away.
One of us 2. Retcher does get the wall bang, and now Ads is going to not. Oh no, they do get the defuse in the nick of time. Ads having a little dance there, very proud of themselves.
1.3 seconds. That is as close as it gets. And once again, even score line.
As on the defense, he is going to have the Viper ultimate online, which opens a lot of options for the defenders to run a solo player defending a point, obviously with the nearsightedness of the Viper ult. However, Ad is opting to play in the middle using the poison orbs to block off sightlines in mid.
And now both players just peeking this corridor as we once again see Spooky going on a little solo mission, as you did say. The Venom War gonna enable that sort of playstyle.
Retcher punished by Doc Rondo trying to get that teleport. We do see the Sage and the Phoenix though. They were going for the B plant, but it seems that they've come back around to try and help their team. Now, again rotating back towards B. They do or will have to deal with the Sage now though from the defenders.
I like the aggressive hold that Atrox was taking. They're pushing, using that dash ability to make it to the other side of cover through the smoke, and then set up in order to deal with the drone. It's been a very dominant round here from the defenders. Unable to get the flawless there as Shadowrun does drop to Jammy Dodger.
Jammy Dodger managing to pick up a second. Doc Rondo just holding behind in case they decide to rotate, obviously with the numbers advantage. Now the defenders are going to try and surround.
I think they knew. I think they knew that the spike was being planted there because you can see immediately the pincer just smothering all of the exits there as the B site spike was planted.
Yeah, and Jamin does get caught out. Not enough rounds in the mag for them to try and even get off that kill.
I do wonder if it would have been better to maybe play. I mean, obviously it is very early days right now here with Valorant, but it would have been interesting to see if in later situations we see players in that sort of 1v3 or that like 1v2.5, instead of going for that spike plant, instead take an aggressive push to see if they can thin the numbers instead of give the defending team time to set up.
Very possible. I know in Counter-Strike a lot of plays are sometimes made to take away economy. the economy game is a factor in this game, especially now as you have to buy abilities. We're going to see the Sova Owl drone scouting out alongside the Raze drone mid. However, the defenders this time taking a much more laid-back approach.
And
they're gonna
Ad's
get
going to be laid
punished.
flat out. Laid flat out on the back to rest for the rest of the round.
The offense now managing to push out very quickly. Retro was playing behind on top of a door frame. Managed to catch someone out whilst this push is going on.
Both of the Razors getting a kill. We have a 4v2 here, as it does look like the bomb is going, or the spike is going to get planted over at B.
I know exactly where you are.
Spooky going to
Spooky.
thin the numbers.
Using his ultimate, knows where the team is.
Alright,
Razor
the rocket
coming
fuse
in.
is ready.
Spammed around the corner. Very large AoE splash damage from that. Amanus going to trade out.
And Spooky now forces the 1v1.
But does get taken out by Amanus. And that is another round going to the attackers.
They're keeping this even, pretty much trading back and forth in rounds. We haven't really seen a 2-round deficit since those opening 2 picks.
Yeah, with this map, there's a lot of chokes and tight corners, and it seems to be detrimental to the way that the defenders want to play. As we saw last map, they played very aggressively on defense. They wanted to try and take the sight lines away from the attackers and play off-site to try and get the kills. Obviously here, with the Razors in play and the tight corners, spam is a very big factor, and they're not able to execute these pushes as quickly as they'd like. We do see an attempt on B push, going to try and take heaven control, get that high ground.
Smoke. Isn't actually able to tag anyone there, unfortunate, as he's going to drop solo defender. Alfredo going to even things up, but peeks the wrong way and gets dropped.
And now we're into a 2v4. Now 2v3. Spike is planted though. I'm going to see ads trying to push in whilst Spooky is now coming around behind.
Wins out the 1v1 there against Wretch. And Shadow Realm picks up another, so the defenders once again do have numbers advantage. And they'll be able to take this round. And what's been really interesting is we've been seeing the offense play much faster than they were before, and they've been forcing these situations where the defenders are no longer defending in the way that you want. They hard commit 2-1. They're pretty much punishing Spooky's sort of roundabout single lone wolf playstyle. And they're saying if they can catch him on his own, they'll take him out and run. And if they guess wrong, they at least have the numbers advantage when they rush that point.
Yeah. Spooky seems to now be buddied up with the Jet on that A defense. Not that it matters, as the offense are going to be going for this B execute by the looks of it. Again, going back for this mid control fight. See the recon come out. Not going to spot anyone.
And now, what information will the team make use of here?
Ad's playing a lot further back. The defenders playing much further back. We see Doc Broder this time on top of the door, not going to get spotted out by the Owl drone. Going to be waiting here, hoping to try and pick off someone. We see all the attackers do not know.
But it's unfortunate because without any sort of communication, Nevermind gonna take his time.
And he's gonna get... Oh. Spunky
Alright,
gonna
fine.
trade out. Very quick reactions back onto the Raze. Going to make it 4v4 again.
The chat's favorite, making sure this isn't going to be an uncontested 2v1. As a
Monkey
direct
King
take
now going to be against a lot of knives. We see Aatrox pushing up into heaven now.
The question is, will the Monkey King be able to take out this modern engineering here? And we see the rest come up there. But Shadow, I'm going to trade out his life in order to bring back another.
So coming out. Gonna pick up one. In the 1v1 now. Against the Jet. Jet does have ult. I'm not sure if she's used all of her knives yet.
Yeah, there's no UI like changes for it, but she is rocking the gun again. So both ultimates offline here, and a single charge left on its primary ability, and Spunky
Ajax
rushing it.
going to be able to pick up and get a 2-point lead here.
So the first time we've seen one of these in a while, the aggressive playstyle is being sort of adjusted to from the attackers.
Yeah, the attackers this time looking like they want to go for an A push. They're not going to try and take this mid fight, as they usually end up not now getting spammed out, but because the defenders are playing a lot more reserved and buying a lot more time for the rotates coming in from A, it means that the attackers, they aren't really able to trade out and push in and take space.
And this time we are seeing the Jet and Spooky taking control of these sight lines. Going to let the people know as soon as the team that you can see the rotation has already begun.
Spooky
As
does
raised on
get
the flank.
mated out. It's forced into an unfortunate angle here. Still able to watch for any crosses into point. Atrix managing to pick up onto the Sage.
And Spucky Monkey gets shot down by Atrix, picking up the second of the round. Spooky going to catch the third.
Now the defenders wanting to push aggressively and try and close out this round.
Race picks off one, but gets traded out by the counterpart. An
Hide in
excellent
the corner though.
I think what was rough was, even though Spooky was caught out of position, it wasn't a sightline that they were able to push and punish just down to the crossfire, and it felt like they ended up rushing because I think they realized that the defensive raise was starting to make the rotation, but wasn't rotating into their sightlines, which just meant they were probably on the flank, because you could actually see that Aminus was checking that backline, waiting for a solo rotation to come through.
Yeah, Aminus playing a lot further back now, not really spamming out as much. You see Atrix taking this aggressive positioning in mid on top of the box.
And the drone being shot down through the smoke.
I'm gonna see some spam through the smoke, not gonna pick anyone up. Aminus with the flank onto Atrix manages to pick up, taking this to a 4v5.
Spooky with the operator, not going to want to have that location sticking, as it does get revealed before the shot's even taken.
So he is going to hold this angle, and you see Sage coming through to try and check for Heaven to make sure he doesn't get flanked.
Spike Carrier has been killed as a double kill comes out for Brodo, making that a triple kill with only 2 left on the offensive side, and now we see the Monkey King against the world.
Is he going to be able to do it? This is the end of the round. There's no reason for him to play safe and safe. Managed to get one with the operator. Obviously a one-shot kill to the body.
And opting between the modern man's bow and arrow, going to put it away and opt for
In favor of the Vandal.
This does make more sense.
Obviously stopped.
Oh,
But traded out by Brodo, picking up 4 that round before
yeah,
the
I think
switch over.
Unfortunate. I think I don't think he expected there to be 2 in that elevator there, and was going to swap to the bow and arrow to get some more vision, and unfortunately was just caught red-handed there.
We are going to see the side swap, and it does look like now the attackers, they want to take this A site rush. And it does look like the Sage is going to be playing for A defense. Obviously, the wall's going to be able to cut off a lot of chokes and slow down the attackers, allowing for a rotate in from the rest of their team. We have the Sova queued up, ready to get vision of mid. Unfortunately, it's not really going to help out.
And we're seeing a very fast offensive push here. Jammy Dodger already being forced back.
Using the slow orb, obviously, sees the cross going to be able to call that out to their team.
And the rotation is beginning. Picks off one.
Spooky.
And makes a rotation out, giving more space in case they choose to push in here, as the pincer is starting to get formed. All options being cut off here.
You see from ads, blocking off the sightlines of Jamin.
all those shots going
Paladin
wide.
not pushing. Wretch and Amos pushing behind, trying to flank, pick up the value. That's a well-timed nade and push.
So things looking good for the defense on their first attempt so far. Gonna have to pick up consecutive rounds here if they're going to be evening up the deficit. Still trailing by 3 despite that victory.
Yeah, and we're going to see, again, Sage solo holding A. Very effective due to the slow orbs and the wall, managing to, like as said previously, slow the enemy team down. Probably going to be seeing from ads a smoke. You can smoke off Heaven with the nade. Atrix does dash through and get punished though. The rotate comes through. Jamming with a double. Spunky picking up ads.
And so far, offense going very, very poorly for our leading team so far, as they get a flawless defense held against them. I just really like what they're going for so far. They've, in terms of the defense, they're betting currently on them matching them with the A rush, and they're leaving Sova in the mid because with that information.
Jamin picks up the final kill.
And this is honestly looking reminiscent to how I assume the previous game went. They were keeping it even, but then eventually did get slapped with a 4-point deficit, but have just been so solid on defense, not dropping a single one so far as they bring things nearly even here. Maybe it's showing a little bit more prowess on the defense here from both teams.
Yeah, a lot more potential for these obvious fraggers and get spammed out and rushed down. Over this time, the attackers, they're looking like they want to try and dedicate themselves fully to B. Very slow start.
No entry frags so far, as everyone's just trying to not be the first one to drop, as they are looking like they're going to get ready for that mid push.
See the intel. The Owl drone is going to tag the team in mid. Picks up the raise. Gonna be a lot of spam and map control gone.
Not the cleanest first blood, but once again, Jammy Dodger making sure that they are the first name on the...
Both of the final kills with that Vandal.
Another clean defense here from the defenders. 4 straight rounds here, evening it up 8 and 8 as advantage for the first time. They look like they're going to set up that A spike plant over in Rafters.
And now we're going to see... Yeah, Spooky's probably going to be playing the Never Spooky watching the angle.
And this is real unfortunate. Pretty much nothing he could do there. He didn't have a good sight line. He was playing into both of them, and both of them actually had ults up. If they really, really wanted to commit to winning this round, both of them were capable of pushing that X button, swinging a tide directly into their favor. Yeah,
and we see the defenders, the attackers even, the way they set that up, trying to go for, well, setting themselves up and positioning themselves so that they can take the refrag whenever the defenders come in with those 2 very powerful sight lines. I'm going to see the Ray spam through mid again, try and get information, try and deal some damage. Get coming online, punished instantly by Amonis.
She's been telling people to get out of her way, but she's been getting out of the server pretty quickly every time she pops that voice line.
Res comes in though onto.
You know, you gotta pad your stats. If it's gonna be a losing round, you gotta pad those stats the way you need to.
True. The spike is being left in spawn here by the attackers. Is this an elaborate play? Are they? Never mind. Jet has noticed, and they are going back to pick up the spike. Unfortunately, not a new strategy.
They may have been just foregoing the objective and instead just turning this into a good old deathmatch.
Again, which
would not go in their favor. They have not been fragging well.
We see Jamin playing back, throws out the slow orb. Spooky does manage to get out onto Heaven.
But he's going to be... Will he check his corners? Very, very grouped up. And if the communication was there, they would know that there was a couple of tags on the defensive side, so not particularly high health targets. So even a non-direct shot to come in, you can see Sova holding that mid. The moment he does choose to pop an ability, they will get a lot of information as the smoke cloud comes out here for the offensive side.
Very strange Phoenix ult that came through there on the B site. Maybe trying to play aggressively in case there was
Another
someone
split push.
pushing behind. So the
Uh,
Viper ult coming in now, very strong at taking sites, as you have the nearsightedness, and if you have something like the Phantom with a higher fire rate, and you get into those firefights with people with things like the Vandal, you are going to win. The spike does get planted though. And Shadowrun picking up one, Spooky picking up 2 headshots here.
And now we're put in one of those situations where the offensive team in red, definitely the defenders at the moment, the Sova is being crept up on, doesn't have a sight line, and the pincer is going to cause him to drop.
And the attackers finding a lot more success with these A pushes now. Obviously having to invest a lot more utility using the Viper ult there.
Definitely more than they would like, but at the end of the day, they were down 4-5 off of that opening pick once again from Jammy. And they did have to adjust accordingly, lest they find themselves on the losing side yet again, like those early games.
We are going to see, it looks like a mid push, and this time we have the Sova scouting out the A instead, using the, it looks like the wall coming up from the stage to try and get onto the high ground, try and get an odd angle.
But it is clear that they are in mid now, as you see the rotation very, very fast there from Jade.
Monkey picking up
Pick up the
a
shadow
kill
realm
from that operator duel.
using the drone to go through the from mid. They are just trying to pick up an entry kill before they decide which site they're going to plant in.
And we're going to hear the jet ult used, pushing around though, not getting any value with this jet ult throughout the game. Amonis now doing what
Isn't able to pick up a kill, but the
Omen
information
ult
is
used
there.
to get onto A site to try and rotate quickly. Managed to pick up ads. Spike is down.